Right now, we are in the calm before the storm, but make no mistake about it, the storm is coming. It'll hit sometime in September when the Senate Judiciary Committee convenes to hold hearings on the confirmation of Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. And unless he makes a major mistake during the hearings, his confirmation is all but a certainty. Because right now, the makeup of the United States Senate is 51 Republicans, 47 Democrats, and 2 independents, Senators Bernie Sanders from Vermont and Angus King from Maine, and they caucus with and vote with the Democrats. Now, John McCain, a Republican senator from Arizona who was suffering from brain cancer and reportedly in hospice, is not expected to make the vote. However, 1 or more of 6 Democrats running for re-election in Republican states are expected to vote for Kavanaugh, and they'll more than make up for John McCain not being there. Like I said, the confirmation is all but a certainty. So the Democrats are working on a plan B. You see, their fear is that the Supreme Court will become a place where progressive laws across the country will go to die, with 6 conservative judges and 3 liberal judges. Now, the Democrats have been doing everything to attempt to slow down the confirmation process and push the hearings until after the midterm elections. But with the Republicans in control, that's just not going to happen. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has already said he expects to have a nominee confirmed by October 1st. That's well before the midterm national elections on November 6th. And that's why the Democrats are considering this Plan B to make the court a little bit more progressive. It's called court packing, and it really can only happen after the 2020 presidential election, because to pass something like this, the Democrats would have to control the House, the Senate, and the White House. So there's a lot of hurdles to the court packing plan, but here's how it would work. Currently, there are 9 justices on the Supreme Court, but nowhere in the Constitution does it say how many justices should be on the Supreme Court. As a matter of fact, when they first established the court in 1789, there were only 6 justices. Then, over the next 40 years, Congress kept passing legislation to shrink and expand the court to as little as 5 and as much as 10. It wasn't until the Judicial Act of 1869 that they finally settled on 9, and it's been that way for almost 150 years. And there's only been one other attempt to expand the court since then, and it failed miserably. In 1937, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt was frustrated that many of his New Deal policies were being overturned by the Supreme Court. And so he suggested adding 6 more justices, bringing the total to 15. And that way he'd have a 9-6 majority. But there was a loud and very public outcry against the policy, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt was accused of trying to become a dictator. Throughout history, dictators have tried to pack the courts. Most recently, we saw it in Venezuela in 2004 when President and dictator Hugo Chavez expanded the Supreme Court there from 20 to 32, cementing his authoritarian rule. Now, it's really difficult to believe that such a plan would work in the United States, the birthplace of modern democracy. However, there have been several op-ed columns recently supporting the plan. And it all started with a book put out in April of this year by political commentator and political science professor David Harris. The book is entitled, "It is Time to Fight Dirty: How Democrats Can Build a Lasting Majority in American Politics." It's interesting to point out that he puts right in the title of the book that it's a dirty idea. And if you're watching this right now and you think, no, it's not, it's a good idea, ask yourself this: how would you feel about it if Donald Trump tried to do it? That's what I thought. It's a bad idea, and it's dangerous. But in a country that is divided by political hatred that pours out into the streets, something like court packing could push these political skirmishes to an all-out civil war. I'm Larry Menti. Talk to you again next week.